Hi everybody, Desmo here. I hope you're having a great time in PoE 2 Early Access. There have been a lot of balance changes in the past few days. Maybe you want to try out a new character or just start over with a new one because you are not satisfied with what you have right now. In that perspective, I'm going to go through all the unique items that are cheap and useful for leveling, organized by class and build type. Before we start, let me clarify for new player what we are talking about. When leveling a new character, and it's not your first, you have some money that you should use to buy gear to help you level your next character faster. Don't worry about spending your money. You can sell all these items back once you're done leveling. Also, unique items are usually the best in slot because they provide stats that are sometimes not accessible at low levels, such as high movement speed, life, offense and resistance, or simply unique interactions. Low level unique items are also very cheap. As we speak, I have selected unique items that are not worth more than 1 exalted orb, but the game has been available for 5 days only at the time I'm recording this video, so you can be sure that the prices of all these items will be much lower as time goes on. That being said, let's start checking these items, beginning with the ones that are useful for all classes. And the very first item is Black Heart. This is the ring and it's very useful because it grants chance to intimidate enemies for 4 seconds on hit. Intimidate is a debuff that inflicts 10% increased damage taken and 10% reduced damage dealt. So this is very useful to increase your DPS and also to reduce the damage that you take. The second item is Wanderlust. Wanderlust is very good because it gives 20% increased movement speed, which is very hard to get at low level, and on top of that you get speed is unaffected by slows, which means that you will always be at your maximum movement speed. The next item is Painter's Servant. This one is very good because it gives some elemental resistance to fire, cold and lightning, but also convert a third of our elemental damage to cold, another third to fire and a last third to lightning. Having all elemental damage type is really good because we will be able to inflict all elemental elements like freeze, shock and ignite. The next item is Crown of the Victor. This one is decent because it gives gain 10 life per enemy killed and 10 mana per enemy killed. So the sustain for your life and mana will be easier on very low level, but also it gives +1 level of all skills, which will help with our DPS. The next item is Nocturnal Caress. It gives 10 to 15% increased skill speed, which is quite a lot, 40 to 60 life, which is a lot for low level, but has a drawback. 10 to 15% reduced maximum mana. So if you're struggling with your mana pool, you should not use them. The next item is Thrill Steel, and this is very simple. There is one modifier, this is Onslaught. Onslaught is a buff that grants 20% increased skill speed and 10% increased movement speed. So definitely very good for leveling. And the next item is a belt, which is Midnight Braid, which grants 30 to 50 maximum mana, 5 to 10 to all elemental resistance, and 50% of damage taken recouped as mana. So this one is really good. It increases our mana pool, it gives us resistances, and it helps to sustain our mana pool. Very good. The last item for all classes is Ghost March. This one I have a little bit of reserve because as for now the price is a bit high. So I don't know how the price is going to evolve in the next few days. I think it's going to get much cheaper, but just a little bit of warning. It might be a bit expensive for now. It gives us quite a lot of armor and energy shield, but also maximum mana, chaos resistance, and dodge roll passes through enemies. That's really good for defense. This is globally really good boots, it's just a bit sad that we don't have movement speed on them. So now let's speak about the witch items. I need to give you a warning here. Wands and staff, they come with the skill as the implicit. If the skill is high level, the level requirement for the item will be high as well. So you will not be able to equip it. So let me just show you what you have to do if you buy one of these items. I took Sanguine Diviner as an example. As you can see here, the item level is 54 and the requirement level is 52. So what you want to do is to click on the level here. And click another time. And that way, it's gonna sort the items by level requirement, so you can buy the first one with the lowest requirement. So let's get back to the item itself. This one gives 80 to 100% increased spell damage, which is a lot for low level. Gain 15 life per enemy killed, which is nice for surviving. And also 25% of spell mana cost converted to life cost, which is good because it's gonna be easier to sustain our mana pool. The next 3 items are going to be similar, but specialized in an elemental damage type. And the first one is the Searing Touch. This one gives 80 to 120 increased fire damage, 10 to 20 increased cast speed, and 100 chance to ignite, and also 100% increased magnitude of ignite you inflict. Very powerful. The next one is Terran's Shiver. So this one is specialized in cold and gives 80 to 120 increased cold damage, 10 to 20 increased cast speed, 100% increased freeze buildup, and enemy frozen by you take 50% increased damage. Also very strong. The next one is Dusk Vigil. It gives 60 to 80% increased spell damage, gain 5 to 10 life per enemy killed, 25% increased mana regeneration rate, and trigger Ember Fusillade skill on casting a spell. So this is quite useful. You basically trigger 2 spells every time you use one. The next item is Serpent's Lesson. This one is simply good because it gives a lot of life and a lot of mana. And the next item is Death Rattle. This one is very good because you have a bit of defense, a bit of offense, but also you have a chance for energy shield recharge to start when you kill an enemy. So if you have energy shield, it's gonna be a very good layer of defense. The next item is Doedre's Tenure. This one is really good because it gives 100% increased spell damage, and this is very high for gloves, but there is a significant drawback, and this is 15 to 25% reduced cast speed. This is good because the benefit is going to be higher than the drawback at low level, but as you level up, you should change the gloves. The next item is Innsmouth. This is another item that has a drawback, which reduces your maximum mana, but again, the drawback is overcome by the benefits of the item. We gain a lot of mana regeneration rate, and on top of that, we get some cold and chaos resistance. The next item is Bitter Bloom. This one is also really good defensively, because we get quite a lot of energy shield for low level, a lot of maximum mana, some energy shield recharge rate, and energy shield recharge start when you use a mana flask. So this is very strong defensively. Now let's talk about the necromancer leveling items. The first one is Carrion Call. This one gives us a lot of energy shield, and minions have 20 to 30% increased maximum life. So this is really good for your minions. And minions have resistance equal to yours. So if you have some elemental resistance, this is going to be extremely strong. The next one is Oxworn. This one gives you a lot of block chance, some decent increased armor and energy shield, and a lot of chaos resistance and spirit. The next item is Bones of Ullr. Ullr?
Bones of ULLR.
A little warning here, this item is a bit expensive as the time I'm recording. It's about 5 to 8 Exalted Orb. But I'm expecting the price to get a lot lower in a few days. So if the price remains expensive, don't buy this item. It gives us a little bit of energy shield, a little bit of life and mana, but the most important modifier is undead minions have 20% reduced reservation. This is a lot. The next item is Enfolding Down. This one is useful early for the defenses, which are quite good, but most of all it gives us 100 to spirit. This is a lot. With that, you can easily double the size of your army early on. You also get some elemental resistances, but there is a drawback, which is intelligence provides no inherent bonus to maximum mana, but I don't think this is too harmful. And the last item for Necromancer is Necromantle. This one is good because it gives us quite a lot of life, a decent amount of mana, and minions gain 20 to 30% of their maximum life as extra maximum energy shield, and minion revive 50% faster. So your minions are gonna be a lot tankier, and also they will revive after 2 seconds instead of 4. Now let's speak about melee unique items. And the first one is Hrymner's Hymn.
Hrymner's Hymn.
Okay, or that. This one is good because it has a decent amount of physical damage, but most of all, it gives us slam skills you use yourself, cause aftershocks. And basically, this is doubling our damage. If you wonder what aftershocks are a burst of area damage that occurs after the initial impact of skill causing them. If not otherwise specified, the aftershock will deal the same damage as the initial impact in the same area. The next item is Brain Rattler. This one is good for 2 aspects. Again, it has some decent physical damage, but also all damage with this weapon cause electrocution buildup. So basically, electrocution is another kind of stun. For the last item for melee character, we have 2 versions of it. There's this one with strength, and there's this one for dexterity. This item is really good because it gives us 1 rage on melee hit. Also, every rage grants 1 increased armor on the strength version, and every rage also grants 1% increased stun threshold for the dexterity version. And now the unique items for the ranger. The first one is Asphyxia's Worth. It gives us some good attack speed, some cold resistance, and enemies chilled by your hits increase damage taken by its shield magnitude. Also, attacks gain 5 to 10% of damage as extra cold damage. So this is really good offensively. The next item is Quill Rain. This one gives us 100% increased attack speed, which is completely mad. You have 2.5 attack per second, but also some dexterity, some arrow speed, and less attack damage, but 40% less with the attack speed that we have. This is completely worth it. And the last item for the ranger is Death Harp. This one is a bit specific because the damage itself is not really high for level 28. Also, the critical damage bonus, we don't care because we are leveling and we are not focusing on critical damage. But it has bow attacks fire 3 additional arrows for the explicit, and as the implicit, bow attacks fire 1 additional arrow. It can be a lot for skills like lightning arrow, which fires 1 projectiles, but for skills like rain of arrows, which fires a lot of projectiles, it's completely insignificant. And now for the mercenary. I found only one useful item for this class, and this is Rampart Raptor. This one gives us some decent bolt speed for the implicit, a lot of physical damage, and a huge amount of attack speed. Also, 100% chance to not consume a bolt if you reload recently. The problem is that the reload speed is slower, but this is still an upside. A last item that I want to talk about, which is good for cold build, is Grip of Winter. This one is really good because it gives us magnitude of shield, increased freeze build-up, some cold damage to attack, and evasion. One last word before finishing the video. The game is currently in early access. It means that over time, a lot more unique items are going to be added to the game. So keep an eye open for a unique item that might be useful for your leveling character. Also, if you think that I've missed some unique items that are good for leveling, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until my next video, take care of yourself and bye!